You're not going to go travel to another country just so that you can have the comforts and conveniences of home. This is a new experience. This is something that offers you once in a lifetime opportunity to have an adventure in another place and enjoying things in a new way. And you got to say bye-bye to your creature comforts. Hello. Welcome to No Borders, No Filter podcast. I'm Debra, the Experient Explorer. Today, I'll share how immersive travel helps you reduce anxiety, stay present in the moment, and connect deeply with cultures and nature. Plus, I'll give you practical tips on how to navigate some of the biggest challenges so you can step into the unknown with more confidence. Let's dive in. Travel is often romanticized. The breathtaking views, the incredible food, the chance encounters with fascinating people. But what we don't always talk about is the discomfort, the anxiety of navigating airport security, the exhaustion of figuring out public transportation, the language barriers, technology, and the frustration of missing the creature comforts we all take for granted. So why do I do it? Why do I willingly step into discomfort over and over again? Because on the other side of it, there's magic, there's awe, there's serotonin boosting, soul expanding joy. Today, I'm talking about embracing discomfort in travel, not just as a necessity, but as a pathway to the most rewarding experiences. Luann brought that up, and it was such a great moment when we talked about her experiences in Chile. And, she really missed her Texan food, which is, I have to be honest, some of the best food I have ever had is in Texas. I highly suggest the Tex-Mex, of course, with their barbecue and local cuisine is some of the best. So I can understand that feeling of, oh my God, I'm missing my favorite food, or, oh, I miss my bathroom, my own toilet. I miss my own bed. I miss whatever it is that you love about your home or your neighborhood or your city. This is about immersing into other cultures. Simply, you're not going to go travel to another country just so that you can have the comforts and conveniences of home. This is a new experience. This is something that offers you a once in a lifetime opportunity to have an adventure in another place and enjoying things in a new way. And you got to say bye-bye to your creature comforts. Some places you might not be able to get that hot shower. Some places might not have a sitting toilet. You might have to squat, like in many Asian countries. They use squat toilets where you have to literally maneuver yourself in a way where you don't pee on yourself and get yourself all wet. I mean, it's TMI what I'm just saying, but there are many things like even toilet paper is not accessible in toilets as well. And maybe you have to buy it when you get there. They charge you before you enter for napkins or so on. These are things part of the immersion of a local experience. Now, I do not enjoy the squat, but again, I don't really have a choice. So it's something that I have to prepare for, and I bring my own tissues, or for me, my go-to is wet wipes. I don't travel without wet wipes, like baby wet napkins. That's a must. I would have to say, if there's one thing I would say, no matter what, to bring with you on the plane and have as an essential is wet wipes. Just bring them with you. And the squat pot is certainly one of the discomforts that I really never get over. It makes me squirm. The smells, thinking about doing a number two, all of it really does not work for someone like me. I like my Western toilets. And when I lived in South Korea, which was my first Asian country, I was at a bookstore and I was like, oh, I got to go. And I had to run into their bathroom and I was stopped because number one, the toilet paper was in a vending machine, which means I would have to have local money. And I seriously was not allowed to enter without giving them, I think, some money as well. I mean, it was just one of the most challenging moments where you think a public bathroom, you can run in and take care of yourself, but there are things like that, barriers to get in to the bathroom. Then you can deal with things that are on public transportation as well, including my experiences on the slow trains and the overnight trains in Thailand and Myanmar. When I sleep on a train, on an overnight train, I love that. I love the experience of looking out the window. I'm immersed in local culture and seeing how people interact, the food that might be offered on the train, the locals that come on, the vendors and everything. I love that experience. There is nothing like it. Like when I was in Thailand, I intentionally took the long, slow train from Bangkok all the way down towards the beaches. And the local life around the railroad was fascinating. I got some of my best street photography or train photography from that alone. Was the train comfortable? No. These trains are rickety without shock absorption. And I did the same kind of experience when I was in Myanmar. And they're by far some of the most memorable, most beautiful experiences I had. The nature that I saw, the realities of the people, the local food, how they dress, you name it. I got to see it hands on. And there's nothing like that. Being in a bubble in a hotel, being around other travelers is the last thing, to be honest, that I want to do. I'm not traveling so that I can be with people just like myself. I can do that and stay home. I'm not there to be disengaged from another culture. Why spend the money? Why go somewhere if you're not going to try their food, speak to them, see what their life is really like? You can go to a beach anywhere, but you can't say you were in a country to me. You were really in a country and then say, I just spent my time at the beach drinking beer and whatever. You know, if you want to travel that way, that's fine. But certainly that is not immersing in another culture. Immersing in another culture is getting your hands dirty, getting involved in their way of life and making the concerted effort to try to be engaged with them. It doesn't have to be the whole time, but taking local transport is a way of immersing yourself and having an experience. Doing things in the local way, eating their street food is incredible experience. Like the other day, I was walking home after getting a massage and I'm like, I never make the time to eat with the local people. So I went to the stand and they were preparing, it's called pare. It's like a soup with meat and other ingredients. And for 50 pesos, having some rice and eggs with it, I got to immerse myself with the locals, stand there with them, watch them eat, see what spices they put on it, if they put chili on it or salt or what kind of things they do. So I stood there and watched them while they ate. And then I was like, okay, let me try this. It was wonderful. And I truly enjoyed it. It was cheap. and certainly a priceless experience. What do you get from that kind of experience? Here's another reason why it's worth it. It's worth it because the more adaptable you become, the less stressed you are when things do not go as planned. I will share a little more about the rewards of immersion travel, experiencing the wonders of nature. How much in your everyday do you get to experience the wonders of nature or being in nature? Is it something you have to wait till the weekend? Is it something that you have to wait for a holiday? Many people live in the cement jungle, the cityscape. And yes, there is nature in there, but it's all artificially made, right? It's landscapes. So going to places that take you into the wonders of nature is so healthy. It is important to disengage from the artificiality of every day and get back to where you're from, the earth. Seeing landscapes and nature in its most authentic form rejuvenates you and decreases your cortisol. It allows you to utilize your senses, your eyes, your nose, touch. You are in a sensory overload. And certainly it puts you right in the moment and gives you humility and perspective that you are not as big as you think you are, especially when you're standing at the tip of an ocean or at the bottom of a mountain. More so, I do strongly suggest going to a place where you can do some volunteer. I always try to support a nonprofit or some community support relating to animals or nature and give back because we are part of this planet. We are not to just take from it. And in learning about the creatures of this planet and certain plants that are vital for our everyday helps you be more appreciative, but understanding of the crisis of our fragile earth right now. And when I do this, it is discomfort because I keep bumping into the endangered species and there are just too many. There's just too many. When I was in Australia, I went and I learned more about the endangered koalas, of course, but there's a lot of other species that are so vital for their environment, but they are endangered of becoming extinct. And it breaks my heart. But seeing this is so important and getting to touch and be with these incredible things, these incredible creatures is just so important to my travel experience. Now, another thing that I really try to do research on and a way to truly enjoy a culture is their festivals and celebrations. In a lot of cultures in Asia, they have many colorful, huge events that are going on. Their cultures are much older than a lot of Western American, especially culture. And learning about their ways through their events is probably one of the most fun and budget friendly things because being an observer, you don't have to pay for that. So before you go somewhere, you might want to try to look into what things are happening in that month because every month, usually in a lot of cultures, there's something going on. Doing that research will add a layer of immersion to your travel experience. And then when you're there, you might be in a crowd, and in that crowd, there might be someone that you make a new friend with, even if it's just for that moment, because you have a commonality. You're traveling or you're enjoying this specific music event or the food. And that commonality just brings you closer as just human beings in itself. And those kind of surprises, I welcome. So I put myself in these situations to hopefully have these surprise special engagements. Now, Before I get into the mental health benefits of this, I want to share why it's so important to sometimes be a solo traveler. And for many people, you feel that solo travel is too scary or too lonely. I could never do it. And the thing is that you can and you should. Being a solo traveler has many benefits. And having time for yourself to self-reflect and to do things on your own terms rather than others is important for your own personal growth. If some people would say spirituality is part of your personal growth, being able to look within and learn how to do things and think about things by yourself. I honestly, truly hate traveling with someone else. I don't do it. And with someone as my personality is an INFJ, as I talked about in an early episode, we like to travel and do things on our own. We are internal and want to have introspective experience. I certainly don't want to worry about other people's schedules, if they want to do something or not. That's not why I'm traveling, and that causes me too much stress. I eat breakfast when I want to. I sleep when I want to. I go where I want to, and I do things how I want to. And there's nothing more liberating than having that freedom. Of course, solo travel takes a lot more energy and time. Absolutely. But again, that creates the freedom for me to live my life and do things the way I feel will be the most enjoyable as well. Solo travel allows you to be more open to meeting new people. When you are surrounded by family or you're with your partner or friends, you're basically putting up a wall between you and the local culture and not allowing these moments to happen. You are much more likely to meet a new friend, to have a very special emotional, spiritual experience if you are fully immersed on your own. So even if you are traveling with friends, family, and so on, take some time to say, I'm going to go do this for the afternoon and I'll catch up with you for dinner or something like that, so that you have time for yourself. You can take in the culture in and really feel what the local life is like and allow your brain to be open to that so that you can think about things in a new way. If you're constantly talking with your friends and you're constantly doing things, you can't possibly be aware of the surroundings around you. So disengage on your technology, disengage from your friends, disengage from your partners, and allow the world to come in. Open that door of opportunity. And I promise you, the experiences, the memories that you have will be far more heightened than being surrounded by your comforts of people. On the final topic of some of the things that are completely uncomfortable for me, but so rewarding, is dealing with my mental health in travel. In my previous episode on embracing discomfort, I get deep into my mental health challenges. It is a huge challenge for me to do travel this way and be solo and deal with all the things that I need to prepare with medicine and so on to do this. But the reason that travel like this is like a remedy, it is like medicine for me, is that it puts me into active meditation. And that means not yoga. And that does not mean sitting and trying to be mindful, because my brain goes crazy in those situations. I need active meditation, means I need to do things and focus on it. So what does that mean? Something that is one of the best ways that people can do, which I do more seriously because I studied photography and art and it's my passion, is doing street photography or culture photography, or how about this? Not selfie photography. You get involved in doing some photography and really trying to learn it and utilize it as a tool to get involved in a culture, it's such a great way to get in the moment and stay present in the moment. Photography allows your brain to be involved in something that you enjoy doing while it helps you not think about any of your worries or future things or your past or anything else. Photography puts you right in the moment. So if you do it as a photographer looking for capturing the local food, the clothing, the markets, the festivals, the nature, if you actually take the time to categorize things maybe in that way and focus on that and go and do it, then you are immersing yourself in the culture and decreasing your anxieties. So that is something you can do as long as you're not thinking about putting yourself in the picture. Another way is writing, journaling. A lot of people like to keep journals of their travels, maybe in the beginning of the day or end of the day, where they write about these beautiful moments and writing down some things about the money or some things that's completely different than your way of life. That's a great way to do an active meditation to help you be very present. What happens when you travel and being solo and doing these festivals and walking and being maybe in the sun a little bit and meeting these new people and healthier life is what happens is your serotonin levels in your brain boost and your cortisol decreases. And for me, that is something I need because as an anxiety depressive person, my cortisol, my anxiety is always heightened. My body's always very rigid. My muscles very tight. When I'm traveling, I'm much more engaged in a more natural way of living. And with the photography and doing these activities, my serotonin is high and I feel much more relaxed. I am not feeling worried or sick. I am feeling like my true self. So simply find things that you can do active meditations to help you boost the better chemicals in your brain and to help you be more present in your life. I want to give you some reminders and some tips to take from this episode of traveling while being immersed in the local culture that can create some discomfort. Now, again, the tips at the airport security: have your documents ready and understand the country's specific rules and regulations. Make sure your passport is up to date, that it has at least 6 months left on it. I would strongly suggest taking digital pictures of your passport and digital of your IDs, like your driver's license, your credit cards, and things like that. Because once you put it into your email or your cloud, you can always get it. If something happens to your ID and your documents, you have backup to get help with the security or the police to get you to a safe place. Again, when it comes to languages, don't worry about it so much. Again, just consider maybe up to 10 words or expressions to help you get to a bathroom, get you to your hotel, but simply greetings and basics to be more involved in the local cultures and make a new friend. Your technology is not something you should focus on your holiday. Again, you need it. You certainly most definitely need it. At the airport, you might be able to check in and do things online. A lot of times luggage is self-check-in now, but do not rely on your technology for everything. It is time for you to go back to analog or reintroduce yourself to analog ways, because that is the best way to enjoy travel. If you lose your phone, you need to learn how to get around. When I was growing up into my 20s, I did not have a smartphone to travel with. The age of technology has only been around for 20 to 25 years. So go back to when the majority of humanity was without technology and really try to build your knowledge through your senses and learn creative ways to get yourself from A to B. Use body language, use pictures, use things to help you communicate the universal language with the local cultures. For missing your creature comforts, it's only for a short time, but if there's certain things that you must have, find little travel-sized things that you can bring on the plane or put underneath that do not weigh so much, that don't hold you back from the experience. But I strongly suggest to lean into the locals and go to their grocery stores and go to their pharmacies and go to their shops and find what they have that might be an alternative to what you are used to. All right, so that's a wrap for this episode of Embracing Discomforts in Travel. I hope that you did resonate and identify with this. And we all have to start from somewhere when it comes to embracing discomforts. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your comments and your experiences. What's a travel discomfort you have faced or you're worried about facing? And how did you overcome it? Share your experience with me on social media, and I will get back to you. If you liked this episode and you would like to hear more, please follow and subscribe. If you have a friend or family member that might benefit from learning about embracing discomforts, please share this with them. Take a moment to go to my description area and check out some of the links that might give you more information about this topic or more about my brand. So in the meantime, go out and get your hands dirty. Bye-bye.